Coucou les filles, hello, marhaba habite. Exciting today. We've got the BECCA Jaclyn Hill face palette that just came in yesterday. I like resisted the urge to stick my fingers in it last night, but let us take it out and put it on our faces. I did take it out of the box though, and there is a sample, like a sachet sample of the backlit priming filter, which I reviewed earlier this week that I'll link down below, but I've never seen that in like a face palette. So the box, I'm so excited, I can't even function. The box itself is beautiful, and then on the back you've got Jaclyn's face and the little blurb, and then the the colors that are in the palette, and then the palette itself comes like so. I think it's really lovely. They have like a little plastic on it so it doesn't ruin the embossing in the front, and then on the back you've got again the little, you guys see that? Like the circles, the discs with the names of the products, and then when you open it up you've got the products themselves, and then this is an insert that has the name of the highlighters and the blushes on it again, which is really cute. So I have no blush on, no bronzer on, no highlight, and I kind of almost want to use this on my eyes too. So I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna take the color Amaretto. Do we want to just do some swatches first? Maybe I should just do some swatches first. Okay, so the blushes are in Rose Spritz, Amaretto, Pamplemousse, and then Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. So if I do some quick swatches for you guys, they feel just as smooth and buttery as all the other BECCA face products, so that is good. Oh, I could totally get away with that as a kind of warmy bronzer color. So that's those three swatches. And then Champagne Pop, which we all know and love, and Prosecco Pop are right there. You guys see that? So the more yellow one is Prosecco and the more golden one is Champagne Pop. So they've said that these are the same weight as a full size. So this is 8 grams. This is Champagne Pop is 8 grams, so that's that one. I'm trying to see if it says anywhere on these boxes the grammage per says total weight, but if we compare the two pans, they look like they're almost the same. I'm trying to do this without blinding you. It looks like they're almost about the same size. So it is nice that you get 2 full-size highlighters basically in here. Okay, let's stop. I'm just like super overwhelmed. I'm going to take this brush. So this is from Hakuhodo. It's the J210, and I'm going to take Amaretto, and then I'm just going to use it to warm up the face, and we'll see what happens. So I was hoping to get these earlier. This is probably a little bit more like a blush, but I was hoping to get this earlier so that I could post it like yesterday. But we had a long weekend here in Canada, so I've got to say, as a bronzer, this is not actually blending out as quickly as I thought it would. We'll see how the blushes perform. Anyways, I was hoping to give you guys like at least a day to watch the video before they launch. But we had a long weekend here in Canada, and so it kind of slowed down shipping. But this will be launching on this will be going live, this video, on the day that the collection goes live. Let me know if you guys are going to pick up the eyeshadow palette. I was totally going to pass, and then I saw some of the images that BECCA was putting up, and I swooned hard, so let me know what you guys are picking up. Okay, so that's it. It's not bad. I'm going to start with Pamplemousse, the more reddish colored one. Oh, these are useful. That's why I can point to these as opposed to pointing to my hands. What is happening outside? No. Shh. Okay, just pigmented. The BECCA blushes are interesting because the ones that I have are so, well, I'll get this under control, don't you worry, are not uniformly pigmented. Like some, just a tiny little dab of gives you this, and then some, it gives you something more like this. So it's a matter of like figuring out and learning which ones do which in the line, and I think this will be one of those ones too where you know that this one is a nice pigmented one, so you just want to apply it with a like steadier hand. But I want to say though that the kind of glow and rosiness it's giving is really, really beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of, can we talk about this? I like it actually. I was gonna say I'm gonna blend it out, but I think I'm gonna keep it. Take a little bit of Rosé Spritz, the like shimmery one, just on the apples of the cheeks. Again, I really have been enjoying recently. Oh, that is gorgeous. It's giving a little bit, you know how NARS's Orgasm has that kind of golden streak running through it? That's kind of the effect that it gives. It's really lovely. I have no idea where my thought process is going before that. If I remember, I'll let you know. My Hakahodo, when I've rubbed off the name, but just, I usually use like a really dense brush to do, this is an intense blush, to do my highlight, but I think because I'm going to mix the two, I'm just going to use something a little bit less, in my world, less. Most people will probably use a fan brush. This one's Champagne Pop that we're just taking initially. I think Champagne Pop is too dark for me, so it'll be interesting to see what Prosecco. I still wear it. I still think it's beautiful, but I prefer like more of a pearly almost highlight. Let's take a little bit of Prosecco Pop. Prosecco Pop is the more yellow toned one. And we're going to take that on top and see how it goes. Oh, hello highlight. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to be glowing into outer space. Okay, so this might seem scandalous, but I'm going to tell it to you anyways. I actually think I enjoy the blushes here more than I do the highlights. I'm going to do my setting powder while I chat to you guys. I think that the blushes are gorgeous, and they give this like luminosity and youth and glow to the face. I think the highlighters, I don't know. I don't want to like, I absolutely adore Jaclyn Hill, and I think that I love the reason behind. My camera went on strike and shut off. That's how upset it was at the where this thought was going. I love what Champagne Pop stands for. And on Noelle, I think Champagne Pop is Noelle's favorite highlight. I will link Noelle's channel down below. But I don't know, on me it sits kind of chunky. Like I have highlights that are more intense than this that I don't feel, I don't know, it just sits, I feel like, kind of chunky. And Prosecco's kind of doing the same thing to me. So, I feel horrible saying that. But I want to be fair and like, in terms of my example. I think in camera, like when I look at the viewfinder, it's looking so beautiful. But in real life, when I look at the mirror, I don't know, I see kind of like texture. So, yeah, I think the blushes are gorgeous though, and will be some of my favorite blushes. And I totally will still wear the highlight, but in terms of like a first impressions, I just had to be kind of truthful. I'm going to use them on my eyes though. Let's see how they perform on the eye. Okay, so I'm going to take Max Rubenesque to prime the eyelids. I will also put a note in the description box about their performance, like how they wore throughout the day. I'm thinking that based on their blendability, they'll probably be like the rest of the BECCA products, where they'll last all day and they'll be beautiful and luminous and soft. But since I won't have time to do a check-in, so I can get this video up in time, I will leave that as a note in the description box, letting you guys know if I had any issues with fading or that kind of thing. So let's take actually a mix of both Prosecco and Champagne Pop on like just a MAC 217 and use them as eyeshadow. See, that is gorgeous. And on the eyelid, I kind of actually like texture. Like sometimes I totally want a smooth, just like even one color on my lid, but I sometimes like texture. There are the, you know, the Dior, I don't know what they call them, but they come in what looks like a lip gloss tube, like that square lip gloss tube, but it's like a liquid shadow. Those ones have legitimate texture. My sister's like, your eyelid looks like a mountainside, but it's gorgeous. So I do actually sometimes go out of my way to find like texture in my eyeshadow. I think it's because, I think what it is that the glitter is so intense and gorgeous that the glitter just sits. Okay, and then I'll take a little bit of Prosecco Pop and mix that in. Yeah, see, it gives a gorgeous, gorgeous sunshine. Okay, I'm going to take a crease brush and then amaretto and run that in the crease to warm things up. This camera's testing me, so in case it shuts off again, I'm just going to go do some lashes and I'll be back to you guys in case it cuts off. That's where I'm at. Okay, so I ended up adding a little bit of liner and then some mascara. I think on the eyes, I actually really, really love the way it turns out, or if you want something so super neutral. With 5 tons of blush, I'm liking the neutral eyes and the neutral lips. I think it wears really, really well. The blushes are a surprise hit. And then being limited to this palette, I would say grab it if even just for the blushes, honestly. I think if you like Champagne Pop, then you will like Champagne and Prosecco Pop. If you weren't a biggest fan of Champagne Pop, either because of its texture, like the way it sits on the skin, or because of its color, it being too dark, then Prosecco Pop is going to be even darker and it's the same texture. So based on how you felt about the initial highlighters, I think you will feel similarly about these ones, but the blushes are beautiful and this packaging is gorgeous, and so I definitely still would recommend the palette, even though the highlighters are not my favorite. That being said, I totally would use the highlighters on my eyes, so I feel like I would use this as like a face and eye palette for something simple, and then I would wear 8 tons of blush. So yeah, I think that is my first impressions on them. I will let you know how they wear below. I'm expecting they'll probably wear pretty beautifully all day long, but if that isn't the case, I will leave a note down below. Yeah, any questions you guys have, all that kind of good stuff, let me know. And let me know what you pick up from the collection. Okay, let's do some quick points of positivity. I'll be done. My first is how this makeup turned out. It's actually kind of different than what I've been wearing the past couple days, and you guys know I've been all about trying all kinds of different things, so it is making me happy. My second is the sun is finally out. It has been raining, and so it's nice to see some sunshine. And then the third is just a really beautiful morning. There's nothing, I just keep feeling giddy and I don't know why, and I think it's just I'm just having a good mood morning, you know? So that is it for me today. As always, please let me know what's making you guys smile. Thank you for hanging out. I will talk to you ever so soon, but before I leave you, as always, let me remind you that life is just way too short to wear boring lipstick. Bye guys.